And if at this point you're like, how do you have so many plants? Why do you have so many plants? Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Thank you very much. It's just fun. Like, this is the joy of a hobby, right? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys have watched my other videos to let you know a little bit more about myself. But I thought that another way for you guys to get to know me a little bit better is to meet my plants. So this is only a few of them actually, and they're usually in different places in the house, but I just thought let's get them together for this video. Because I just wanted to talk about something that's really important to me, which is cultivating hobbies. And my hobby that I've cultivated over, I think maybe it's been 4 years. I think it's been 4 years. I can't remember at this point. Maybe 3. But no, since lockdown. Since lockdown. We all know that lockdown got us into different things, okay? And for me, it was my plants. So I just thought that I would introduce them to you. And I know I'm being a bit extra, but it is what it is, okay? My plants really, really mean a lot to me. They all have different stories, how I bought them, how I got them, why I got them, why they exist, why they're in my space. And I know I'm sounding so hippie right now. My siblings always say to me that I'm one step away from becoming a vegan, but it's never that deep, okay? I like my meat too much. We like meat too much, okay? And I know I'm not helping my case with this, my hair right now, so it is what it is. Anyway, so I thought I would introduce you to my plants, what significance they have in my life. There's only a few of them around me. The some are also like on my window ledge as well, but yeah. Oh, and there's some in my office at work. Let me take it all the way back, guys, and why this whole hobby started, how I got into it, how I, now have so many plants, how I take care of them, why I now love them so much. All right, so during lockdown, okay, we all got into our little hobbies, didn't we? Like, we were all trying different things. We had all the time in the world. Some people, started roller skating or rollerblading. Some people started this, some people started that, some people started baking, whatever the case may be. And I started in the house that me and my family were living in previously. I started growing plants in the garden. Now, listen, it was a rental and we were probably meant to ask permission, or I was probably meant to ask permission, but I was like, we've been living here for so long. Obviously now I know better. And yeah, let me just do it because I kind of really just want to grow stuff. I don't know why I had the urge. I think it started from when I accidentally left a seed in water or something and I saw it sprout and I was like, oh my goodness. And that was also when I'd first become a Christian. So for me, every little thing was so profound, or I really started walking with Jesus. Everything for me was so profound. I started just seeing the beauty in like the smallest things. Like I started seeing the beauty in, I don't know, the birds in the sky and the blue skies. And I was just like, oh my gosh, wow, everything is amazing. I don't know if anyone here can relate to like the first like when you first become a Christian, that kind of like excitement of life. And oh my God, I pray that I'll always have that because, life gets lifey, and we sometimes forget all of that stuff. So anyways, back to my story. So I saw the seed sprout and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. So then I got a bunch of seeds. I started with butternut squash and I think something else, I can't remember. And I was just so fascinated with the fact that they grew, like, oh my gosh. And I got to eat tomatoes from my plants that was called Barbara. And so this just started like, I don't know, just something in me where I was like, oh my gosh, it's so profound that something so small can become something so big and actually feed you as a human being. And that just like blew my mind. And I was like, is this how God treats us? Like, he plants us as a seed and then we grow. Like, it was literally like all the images, okay, were coming to my mind throughout this whole process. And I was just so excited. Like, I spent so much money, like buying soil, buying fertilizer, buying this, buying that. But it was so exciting. It was so fun. So, oops, just whack that. Yeah, if anyone knows how I can hide a lav mic, anyone that, goes on YouTube or records videos and stuff, because I hate the fact that this is showing. Okay, but anyway, so then the rainy season came, the weather changed, and this is Britain, so yeah. And I didn't know anything about seed planting, so I'd planted way late into the season, etc., etc. So my plants just like died a very sad death. And so I was like, oh no. So I was like, but what can I do? I can get house plants. And so I did. So I got house plants, and I had, I think, a yucca plant. I'll try and insert pictures of these things. I had a yucca plant, and I had, that's why I called her Lily, duh. She was called Jane. Jane the Dieffenbachia. I had a Dieffenbachia, and I also had some aloe plants. And because I didn't know anything or that much about indoor plants and, like, you know, how much water they needed, etc., 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 I just killed all of them. It was so sad. And the worst one was Jane's death. I still remember it. My little sister still remembers it, and she still laughs at me to this day, because I wanted to be like lazy, and I bought these plant feeders, self feeders, from Poundland. Why would I do that? I bought it from Poundland. If you're going to buy something like that, buy a good, like, from a good reputable source. Anyway, so I bought it from Poundland, and it was, I'll try and insert a picture, but it was like a little thing where when you cut the bottom bit and you put it into the soil, it was meant to slowly feed your plant with plant food. And then one day I walk into my room and I notice that Jane is dying slowly. So I'm like, what's wrong with you, Jane? And I just see that, like, you know, leaves are wilting and this is going and that's going. And then I look at the plant feed and I notice it's like completely empty. And I'm like, oh, this is meant to be over months that it's meant to be gone. So then I take it out, it's completely empty, and all the plant food had gone into the soil. And obviously, now I know that that just absolutely decimated Jane. So anyways, my Dieffenbachia died, and I'm still looking to get another Dieffenbachia now, but I'm having to be patient because we spent a lot of money, okay? Anyway, so I'm going to try and remember when I got these plants. I'm going to try and remember why I got them, etc., etc., and what they mean to me, and just introduce them to you guys. And I'm really, really hoping that my hair is not backing this thing. Anyway, so I'm going to start with Lily. So, this is Lily. Lily is, oh my gosh, I don't know why the names of my plants and their Latin names are flying out of my mind right now. But if I forget what she is, I'm going to insert her. She's a peace lily. That's it. That's what she is. As of right now, she's not got any flowers or anything, but that's okay. You know, like, we still love you, Lily. She's still doing great work. Her foliage still looks really good. So I'm very happy with that. Why did I get Lily? Oh, I didn't get Lily. It was a present from my co-workers for my birthday last year. No, my birthday and my graduation and the getting of my results. So that was really sweet of them. Thank you guys if you ever watch this video. And also we have, I'm going to introduce the bigger plants later on because, oh my goodness, like, these boys are heavy. This is Queen of Sheba. Queen of Sheba, the rubber plant. I can't remember why I call her Queen of Sheba. I just thought she was very regal and very beautiful, and she's doing a great job. And then I have behind me, I'm going to try and pick these up. This is my pothos plant called Planty. The reason why she's called Planty is because I let one of my nieces name her. I actually gave them 2 plants to name, and I'm going to show you the other one next. But yep, now I'm stuck with Planty because I said, I'll name it whatever you want to call it. She was like, Planty, because it's a plant. I was like, okay, great, that's fantastic. So now we have Planty. Note to self, I'm not going to say it. We're not going to say that because they might watch this video someday. Love you girls. All right, so next I have, yes, I was going to show you the other plant that my niece named. So this, you can't even see my face anymore. This is Shady. Shady is an alocasia, and I'm not going to go too much into the terms of plants and their names and why they're called that, but she's an alocasia, and the story behind her is that I didn't realize, you know, obviously I'm learning as I'm going, I didn't realize that you probably shouldn't buy plants when it's cold. So last winter, or 2 winters ago actually, Yeah, no, last winter. So not this year, last year. I bought this plant because I heard about alocasias and I was like, I want one. Oh my god. So I got this plant and I was just like, it's so gorgeous. But then I took it home and the leaves started dying slowly and it was just so sad. So every time I would water it, one leaf would die and then another one would grow, and then I'd water it again, one leaf would die, another one grow. And I was like, what's wrong with you, girl? What's wrong with you? But now I know that alocasias can be quite picky. What I figured out was, oh my gosh, maybe it needs a new pot because it was in the pot that it had come in. And so I took it out of the pot and I realized it was extremely root bound. And root bound just basically means that the plant had literally just wrapped all its roots tightly around the soil, so it wasn't getting enough nutrients, it wasn't getting enough of what it needed. So then every time I would water it, it would desperately be trying to give it to a new leaf because it was like, okay, this other one can die because it's been here for a long time, let me produce a new one. And I think at some point I had about maybe 4 leaves on this plant. Now look at her, like, gorgeous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 leaves. 12 leaves. She now has 12 leaves. So the new pot, I put her in a terracotta pot, which, and she's just happy. She's just been thriving in here and just having a really good time. So I am very happy with that. And she's called Shady, like I said, because one of my nieces called her Shady. So yes, and I'm really hoping that this microphone is not messing up my sound. I think I'm going to put it in the middle here because I think my hair might be whacking on it and I don't want to watch this video later on and get very upset. So we're going to put it right smack bang in the middle. We're learning as we're going. All right, so I also have my other alocasia plants over here, and oh, they are so big, but I love them. All right, so this is Squiggles. And I don't know why it's called Squiggles. I don't have any profound meaning behind Squiggles, but it's just because it's squiggly. Like, I don't know what else to say. And this is another alocasia, and this one also gave me stress when I bought it because, once again, I bought it during winter because I was just so excited to see an alocasia. I saw it in the store, the leaves were looking a bit funny, and I was like, let me save it. Like, I was like, I can save it. So then I went to, this was in Lidl, I went to Lidl, and then I asked the guy at the till, I was like, so do you want to reduce it? The leaf is dying, this is wrong with it, like, do you want to reduce it? And he did. He literally gave me 20% off, so I got this for about £4. And all of my plants literally have the same stories. I either, you know, get given them as presents, or I buy them super cheap, or, you know, I just find a really, really, really good deal. So we thank God for that. It makes me feel like God is approving of my hobby. So woo! So yes, so she gave me stress when I bought her because the leaf, like, I had another leaf in the middle here and it just like slowly just died, and then another, it just wasn't growing, and I was like, oh, what's wrong with you? And every time I'd water it, it would have something called guttation. So guttation is when water will be produced from the pores of the leaf. If anyone's watching this and you're a plant expert, if I've gotten something wrong, oopsie doopsies. So yes, she would guttate, and it was just so sad to see. I know guttation is not always a bad thing, so I was kind of like, oh, whatever, you'll be fine. So I repotted it, put it in a terracotta pot again. It seems to me that alocasias like terracotta pots, so I think I will just stick to that from now on. Yes, so put her in terracotta pot, and she's just thriving and happy now. You know, grew a leaf recently. This is the one that she recently grew, and also this little baby one grew as well, which is really, really nice. And yeah, it's just really lovely when, you know, you put work into a plant. Oh, my face is being covered. You put work into a plant and it rewards you by growing well. So yes, I'm very happy with Squiggles. So that is Squiggles. And then I think I'm going to show you one of my absolute favorite plants. I got this one. Oh, it's so heavy at this point. Got this one on my birthday when I turned 21, I think. And I had always wanted a monstera, like, and if my voice sounds funny, by the way, I just kicked a cold in the butt, so yeah. But yeah, my voice is still trying to be rude. But yeah, so got this Monstera plant on my birthday, and originally it was called Pikachu. And then when I googled Pikachu and the meaning of the name and where it came from, obviously I knew it was from Pokemon. I realized that Pokemons are pocket demons. That's what they're called. And I was like, I'm not gonna have a demon in my house. Obviously, you know, those that get it. But yeah, I think names are really, really, really important, and what you call something is really, really important, which is, you know, some might find extra, but I think it's absolutely, it really leads, you know, yeah, names are important in a nutshell. So maybe I'll make a video about that at some point. All right, so now I call her Esther. I think that's absolutely a beautiful name. When my friend asked why she called Esther, I said because she was born for such a time as this, and that's a Bible joke. So yes, just absolutely thriving, so happy, and she has had 2 babies. So this is Esther, and then Geraldine. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't right now. What am I doing? Ooh. This is one of Esther's babies, born by propagation, which is basically a method of either you cut a leaf below the node. This is a node. I don't know if anyone cares about all this stuff, but I care about it. So this is a node, or you can get an aerial root, which is basically a root that just grows from the plant. And you cut below that, you stick it in water or something called a substrate. So substrate is basically the form of material that you can put a plant in. So it can be soil, it can be something called leca, which is just basically clay ball. There's so many substrates basically. So yes, you can stick the plant in that, water it, give it enough nutrients if need be, and it will just grow roots, and then you can stick it in the soil and you've got a whole new plant. So it's getting really, really big now, and her name is Geraldine. Geraldine is the name that a friend of mine really likes, so I called it Geraldine. So that is one of Esther's babies, and the other baby of Esther is at work currently at the church that I work at. So yes, and we also have, Planty's baby is over here. This is Planty's baby. Her name is Joy, and so cute. Love it. It's another pothos, well, the same pothos basically. And I don't know how I forgot about Dashuria. As you can see, Dashuria had a bit of a tantrum. She used to be so well behaved, but then during the summertime, I put her too close to the window, and then she got sunburnt in different areas. And then when we moved houses, there was just so much going on that I'd put her in a corner and forgot to feed her. I'm so sorry. So some leaves died. There's one here that I need to take off. So, you know, this is part of plant care. You have to make sure dead leaves are taken off because they might continue to take nutrients from the plant, and also it can just mold and not help your plant. So yes, that's going to be chucked away somewhere. But yeah, so this is Dashuria, and Dashuria is a Dracaena. She's a Dracaena cornstalk. So yeah, I think she's beautiful. She's so big now. Used to be really, really, really small. But yeah, happy, doing well, other than the sunburn and the leaves that had enough of me and my behavior. So, there's another one here that needs to be taken off. So, yes. And then we have Comfort over here. And Comfort's not very happy. She's just, yeah, it's just been a lot. Like, I've moved to different places, and I think she's just a bit tired, and at some point she grew a flower. So this is a painter's palette, or I believe anthurium. That might be the Latin name. Anyway, so painter's palette, and she's meant to have things coming out of her that are, they're leaves, but also we call them flowers. and just not very happy. I don't want to just show you, all the plants that are doing very well and are happy and da 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 da, but also the ones that are just not having a good time because maybe they need something that I'm not currently giving them. And that's okay. It means that I can find out what the need is, and I think I will need to propagate this plant. So I'm gonna cut it in different parts. So I'm gonna cut this top bit, cut these bottom bits. All of them have nodes on them. I don't know if you can see those little brown sticky bits. So if those go in water or a substrate, they should grow roots and produce, hopefully, a happier, healthier, or different happy, healthy plant. So yes, I've already started that by having some 2 leaves that I've cut. I've put them in water. It's right there. I think I'll pick it up though. Give me a moment. So I've put 2 leaves in water and a stem, and I'm just going to see what happens. Half of the fun of growing plants is just figuring it all out. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing sometimes, and sometimes I'm just like, I'm just going to figure you out, and hopefully you're going to work, and if you don't work, boo, but if you do work, great, we have gained a new plant. So yeah, we're going to see what happens here. I also have 2 last plants to show you, but these 2 are currently in different stages, 2 different stages. So these ones are being propagated. They are pothos. Something happened to Planty, and she was in the kitchen, and I think a stem had been caught in something, and so it snapped, and I didn't realize for a long time. So then I saw, I was like, oh my gosh, let me try and save it. So I took the stem, cut it off, and chucked it in water. The first leaf and second leaf died. I don't know if you can see the one that's brown there, but look what's growing. A new one. So yes, and then I also took off a little bit of, to even out the length of the plant, I took off a bit of the other plant, a healthy one, and then I put it in here as well, and I'm just going to add it to the joy pot. So yes, cheers. So I'm just going to put that here for now. And then last but not least, I have baby S. And this is Shady's baby. So baby S was an accident. But anyways, let me not get myself too, yeah. Baby S was a bit of an accident because I didn't realize that at the bottom of alocasias are things called corms, and these corms, when you chuck them in water or substrate, or you know how to grow them, they will give you another little plant. So you can't really propagate these ones in the same way as other ones. You can't put them in water, you can't cut a stem and put it in water, it just won't grow. But the corms, those little bulb looking things, will produce a new plant. So I've been growing another alocasia from scratch, and it's just been such an exciting process. Obviously you can see 2 of the roots are not having a good time, but we will sort that out at some point. So yes, still happy, still going well. Yeah, those are the plants that are currently in my house or in my room, and I just really enjoy them. And that's the thing with hobbies, like you can find things that God has given you and the hands to do. We can find something that God's given us a joy to do, and it might be an accidental find as well. I'm also about to get myself into sewing, and there's just stuff that God's given us to do, and sometimes we can end up getting in a place where we're not having something to do, and you get, that's where boredom hits, that's where procrastination hits. But I think that God doesn't just want us to kind of just be like, ugh, but he wants us to find joy in the creation that he's made. Like, what is it that you could be putting your hands to do? My last video was about being in a waiting season. What can you do in that waiting season? What can you use your hands to do? What can you find to do? Find something, guys. Hobbies are just so important, and I think it takes our eyes off ourselves as well and puts them into our energy into something else. Yeah, those are all my plants. Like I said, some of them are in the office and I just don't really have time to show them. I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the office. Yes, I have a whole lot of plants. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I have enjoyed making it. Like, this is my longest video yet. Time has flown and flooded. But yeah, I just really, really, really enjoy growing my plants, and I think they have been one of the best additions to my life. They all have a story, they all have something that they have added to me, and I just think it is a beautiful thing. All right, guys. I hope that you cultivate a hobby if you have not got one already, or you pour into the hobby that you've not really had time to do very well. And I pray that you will find joy and fulfillment in that hobby. All right, guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye.